Hello, welcome to Creative Makings. My name's Claire Newcomb. Today I'm going to be using the daisy chain collection from Apple Blossom Dies. I want to talk you through how I'm going to make a card using a selection of these dies and embossing folder that I've got here. I want to show you how all the products coordinate together and how you can put them together to build up a card, build up some layers. I shall talk you through a couple of techniques as well that will perhaps help you use your die cuts and perhaps look at these patterns and products in a slightly different way. You can see here that I've already cut the daisy flourish border, and just wanted to show you how easy it was just to pull these dies away from the cardstock that you've cut there. Because this is so intricate, this die cut, it has actually left some of the detail in there. That's not a problem. Using a pokey tool or whatever you have in your craft room to hand, you can just tap these detailed bits out. Some of you may have the brush that you can use that's on a roller to actually clean these pieces out from your die cuts. I think I might invest in one of those, so I'll go back onto the Craft Stash website and have a look. It's always wise to take out the extra pieces from the die as well. That just ensures that your die will actually cut clean next time. But say easy done. And there we're left with a lovely intricate die, nice neat tidy cutting. So just, as I said, I'm going to talk you through how to layer up these products to come up with a card. I shall take the strips of the daisy border that I've already cut, because I want to create a frame with these today. Now I'm going to use four of these strips, and I just wanted to show you some of the detail. I'm just going to bring a piece of black card in so you can actually see the detail there. Now if you can see the detail of these die cuts, you have the daisy running through the design there. Now to create a frame and to give you a point of reference, what you can do, you can line up these flowers, or the daisies, perfectly. You see there? That creates, they layer up onto each other perfectly well. So if you do that and line up the daisies on all four corners, you will create yourself a nice square frame. So we just line those up on all four corners there. So I'm just showing you this, so I'm not going to stick this down. But you have a lovely square frame ready to mount on a piece of cardstock. Because you've lined up the flowers in each corner, the overlapping of the rest of the die gets lost in the intricate pattern there, intricate design, so that layers up really tidy, really nice. The other thing I want to say, just while we're there, I'm going to bring in the other set that I have, the daisy chain die set and the ribbon weave. This die is just the single flowers in the daisy chain, and if you cut one of these flowers and isolate it from the rest of the chain, it does actually line up really well on top of that flower. So if you want to layer and create 3D images, you can obviously cut your daisies from here, cut them out following the detail of the flowers, and just decoupage them over the top of these daisies here. It'll just give you an extra dimension to this frame. Now, perhaps other alternatives of using these dies, you could make an interesting shape card. Again, you can line up the centre of the daisies there, creates a nice rosette pattern, and you could perhaps create a triangle frame. And you could create yourself an unusual, unique card base, triangle card base. How pretty is that? Isn't that lovely? Again, it's just worth having a play and seeing what other designs you can come up with. Now today I'm going to create a rectangle frame, and I've already prepared my card blank here. Move away the black card now. I've already created my card blank. It's a 10th fold card, and I've layered with 3D foam a rectangle piece of craft card. Now what I'm going to do, I am just going to, which way I'm going to do it, this way round. No, not this way. Again, similar sort of principle. I'm just going to line up these die cuts so they overlap, so this filigree edge is overlapping the craft card, so I end up with a nice filigree fancy border all the way round, and create myself a nice rectangle frame. Okay, now we've stuck all that down. Now ahead of time I've taken the embossing folder, the daisy chain embossing folder here, and I've embossed myself a piece of craft card that I've mounted onto a piece of white cardstock, and that will just sit in the middle there with the frame surrounding that. Now these embossing folders, again, lovely quality, they give a lovely deep emboss to your cardstock. Now remember, you can use the emboss or the deboss side depending on the look that you want to have. Now I've opted to use the embossing as is on the folder, but I did have an experiment earlier on, and I embossed another piece of craft card, because initially I thought I might do the card in the landscape orientation, but I changed my mind. But what I've done, I've actually embossed a wider piece of cardstock, as you can see there. Now I just wanted just to talk you through quickly how I done that. I initially just ran the cardstock through my the die cutting machine like that, so we had the extra piece of the card, which was plain obviously at the time, sticking out the side, so that went through your embossing machine. When I took that out, because this is a repeat pattern, I was able to slide and slot the pattern that I'd already embossed back into the embossing folder. Now what you need to do, you just need to fiddle along with it a little bit, and it will actually slot back into place. You'll be able to match up the design and sit that in place, reclose the folder and run that through your machine again. And that way you'll get a continuous pattern across a wider piece of cardstock. You do end up with a slight join in the middle, but if you plan that right, you can actually hide that within the design of the card. If you perhaps put an embellishment over there, over that section, or another die cut, you'd never know that was there, and it actually looks like a wider embossing folder than it actually is. So that's a useful technique to remember as well. But as I said, I'm just using the embossing folder today as is, and I've, as I said, laid that onto a piece of white cardstock, and I'm just going to stick that to the card. The ribbon weave border. Now, this is a lovely little die. I've not used this type of die before. I've seen other people use it many times, but I was able to use it myself today. And what this allows you to do is take a strip of card and allow you to weave ribbon through it, which is a lovely effect. All I've done is taken a strip today, just a single strip, and I've laid this over the top and run it through my die cutting machine, and as you can see, it just die cuts, and if I can come up, hopefully that'll stay in focus. It just cuts the little grooves that you can weave your ribbon in and out of. Now I've obviously threaded the ribbon through already, but I'll just show you how easy it is. It's just a normal width of ribbon. Actually, I'll tell you the width. I mean, that's a centimetre wide, so you'll be able to put any ribbon up to a centimetre wide through this, and it's just so easy to thread. It's just you move the ribbon in and out, and there we are. Now I'm going to secure this ribbon on the reverse, so obviously so it doesn't come unthreaded. So I'm just going to double back that on itself on the reverse, and I shall do the same on this side. I've already trimmed this to the length I'd want it for my card. Make sure you do that before you secure the ribbon on the back, because once your ribbon's stuck, you obviously that you won't be able to move. Let's just trim that. Now I'm just going to leave this relatively plain because it will work nice with the rest of the card here. But all I'm going to do is just take a little bit of ink on these blending sponges, which are my favourites to use. I think these can be found on the Craft Stash website as well. And I'm just going to edge, just in blue. Just give that a subtle colour, so that stands out against the rest of the craft card, and that will sit on the card there. So I'm just going to glue that on. It would be advisable, I think, to try and keep the glue on the cardstock as opposed to the ribbon. Not all ribbon takes glue that well, and it can show through, especially if you're using a wet glue, it can show through to the front and give like a wet stained look, which is probably not the best look. Let's say if you can keep the glue onto the cardstock there, then that will glue down perfectly. That's fine. Okay, I've made the focal point for the card, which is a stamped image on a filigree die cut there. So I'm just going to put that in the centre. Now it's interesting, the collection I'm using is the daisy chain collection, which would lead you and initially make you think of springtime cards, and I've played with this collection and made lovely fresh white and lemon cards for springtime, and actually coloured the collection as you would a daisy. But this time, because I've gone with the craft card and the blue, I've added, I don't know if you can see, a little bit of ink on the card, and then I've just glued that on. 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 And then almost an icy, wintry image there. She's going to make this into a Christmas card. So although as the name suggests, the Daisy collection, if you think outside the lines just a little bit, you can actually make your stash last all through the year. And I think that works lovely as a Christmas card. You'd never know unless you look at that directly that wasn't Christmas themed dies. So there we are, we have a lovely 10th fold card, lots of texture, lots of layers, using the Daisy collection from Apple Blossom that can be found on the craftstash.co.uk. Thanks for joining me today. I hope I will see you again soon.